Are you ready, Freddy? Am I annoying you yet? Is this the worst day of your life? Is this just a dog being annoyed? She's trying to have a nap? Is that what's happening?
Well, is it coming? I have no idea. Yes, there it goes. Hello, everybody. Well, welcome to Houston. We have a problem. Episode number 721. Just before showtime, I got news that apparently the monkeys that have escaped the accident, the COVID herpes monkeys, or the herpes COVID monkeys, apparently don't have COVID herpes, so claim the lab they came from. But you know, it's more fun trying to imagine an outbreak scenario where herpes COVID monkeys are running rampant through the countryside, turning people into zombies, and just giving us a little spice of life that we're missing in these news-free times where nothing ever happens in this world, right? That being said, Dodgers won on a Freddie Freeman walk-off in the 18th last night. Holy smokes. Shohei Ohtani got on base 9 times with 4 extra base hits, and he's still slated to pitch today. So, wowee, what a baseball. What's happening? Amazon's laying a bunch of people off. Target's laying a bunch of people off. Trucking companies are laying a bunch of people off. UPS is laying a bunch of people off. Yep, Spies hit new records. So we got that going for us, right? Oh boy, woohoo, yay. Awesome. What else had in there, monkey? Donald Trump had a routine MRI, and every doctor on Med Twitter is like, there's no such thing as a routine MRI. Then Trump said that the hospital gave him an IQ test that was very, very hard, and Med Twitter came on and said they did not give him an IQ test, they gave him a cognitive test because they think he has dementia or suffering from strokes or perhaps has Alzheimer's, and that this very hard cognitive test or IQ test is like, identify the giraffe. What sound does a cat make? How many dogs in this picture? And he said the first few questions were really easy, but then it got extremely hard. And Med Twitter was like, it does not get extremely hard. It's just trying to see if you can recognize, shapes and colors in animals and what sounds they make. And that's the test. So not like we're doing calculus here, but awesome. Awesome that we have a man who needs a cognitive test as president. So, anything else I want to add today, monkey? The Plan Man et al. At BBBYQ DK Butterfly have appealed the dismissal of the Hudson Bay case. That should take a year, usually 6 months to a year for the appellate court to go and make a ruling. Unless they ask for it to go faster somehow. But anywho, we got that going for us. How about we splot?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Houston, we have a problem.
Okay. Off. Click on the top chat. Turn it into live chat. Then click on the multi-stream. Turn that on. Okay. No super chats yet. No super chats yet. Reminder on the Houston Eats That 30-year-old can of spam in the background. I need another $7,119.06 if you want me to eat that spam. So if it's really, really important to you that I cook up that spam and nom it, that's where it's got to go. Okay. Put this guy back up over here. Let me just refresh the Hurricane Center here, because I've been trying to keep an eye on what... okay, surface warnings, wind history, there we go. So it looks like the eye has crossed over Jamaica for Hurricane Melissa, which now the back winds are coming in. Basically just bisected the island. Wind speeds for Melissa at landfall were 185 miles an hour sustained. 252 mile an hour gusts were recorded. The pressure was down to 892 millibars, making it the strongest hurricane to ever make landfall in the Atlantic. And it intensified as it made landfall, which broke brains of meteorologists. Now it's going to hit the southeast portion of Cuba. I don't know how much energy it's going to have, but those waters are still pretty warm between Jamaica and Cuba. So I assume, it's going to hurt really hard. It's been tracking really slow. I mean, basically the arms of this thing have been dumping rain on Jamaica for days and days and days. Now the intensity and it passing over the 7,000 foot mountains in central the island, it's going to drop a lot of rain. People in Jamaica are going to be hurting. There's going to be a lot of deaths. There's going to be a lot of injuries, a lot of destroyed homes, destroyed farms, destroyed infrastructure. I wish YouTube would get their shit together so that we could do a charity for these folks. It's gonna be rough. So I know I've got some viewers who have Jamaican lineage. I don't know if they have any family in Jamaica still, but I hope that the world can come together and help those folks out, because it's good. The aftermath of this storm is going to be brutal. So hope those people do well. Lyco Crypto was first saying me. Polestar, yo. Polestar, Nvidia Dragon Spy higher and higher. Lol. Yeah, so the government sounds like it's now going to be giving your tax dollars to Nvidia to make giant data centers so that they can probably spy on all of us or something. So that's cool. And Nvidia et al. Seem to be trading the same $1 trillion around back and forth, making it look like everyone's earnings are going through the roof. So, yeah. Chris Taylor says, hey there. Polestar also says Jamaica storm reaching theoretical strength limits. Wow. Yeah, like this would qualify if we went linear, right? Like every 15 miles an hour was a new category storm. This would be a category 7 storm as it made landfall. So it's big. It's a very big, very powerful, insanely powerful storm. Polestar also says he's ready to be disappointed in tomorrow's hype day. Yippee! Woo! Yeah. Ugh. And Polestar Amazon throws $1 billion towards Nokia. People always said that Nokia was part of the basket. Nokia was part of the basket. I had Nokia stock back in the day, and then when it didn't do anything after like 4 years, I got rid of it at some point. I can't remember. Maybe 3 years. And Polestar Spy 700 Plus, how soon? Friday? I mean, it was at, what, 690 or something today? 687. It peaked at 688. Okay. So just in the last 5 days, it's gone from a low of 664 up 20 points. So yeah, there's a chance by Friday to cross 700 if that trajectory maintains. It's insane that I feel as though if you're going to do an index of 500 stocks, all 500 stocks should be equal in that index, and not be 7 stocks or 70% of the index, and the other 493 stocks are like negligible amounts in there. That seems like juking the stats overall and not representing at all what the actual health of the economy is. But yeah, that's what we got. Oh well. Anywho, Kelly Reed, happy birthday, HW. Target cuts 1,800 jobs in its first mass layoff in decades. Global mass layoffs at several companies. Am I smelling recession brewing? Plus reverse repo hits $2 billion. Yeah, reverse repo is almost just non-existent, almost to the background rate prior to all the COVID crap that caused reverse repo to go through the roof. Yeah, the Target's cutting jobs. Target also has been a victim of mass boycotts. They basically lost 15% of their entire customer base based upon them caving to the Trump administration regarding DEI and other stuff. And Target may never bounce back from that. They may never get that market share back. unless they wholesale like do a 180, and people go, all right, I'll shop there again. Because right now it seems like Costco is the biggest beneficiary of all of those folks who left Target, and you may never go back. I don't know. We'll see. So, Carried also, man, been holding Nokia for years and thought just little gains and cents. Then Nvidia comes in up 127%. Is Nvidia involved in Nokia as well? Dang. CPAW 3199. COVID monkeys escaping truck transport deja vu. Well, apparently they aren't COVID herpes monkeys. They're just regular monkeys who have not yet been experimented on, claims the lab. Regardless, we're about to have a native monkey population in Mississippi. Isn't that exciting? A whole bunch of bayou swamp monkeys or something around there. Kelly Reed. But read that one. Doc Daddy Zero. Longtime GME holder, but looking at Beyond setup, it does seem similar. Trading volume in the billions last week and options still cheap. Have you paid attention to that at all? I've been looking at it. The big old collapse last week from, was it almost $8 back down to $3? Seemed to me probably based on something Martin Shkreli was doing, because he started getting involved in this, and you can't trust anything that psychopath does. Well, it might be a sociopath, not a psychopath, but whatever. But it does seem like it's incredibly short. The Gates Foundation, which is one of the largest investors in Beyond, said that they're recommitted to their investment in Beyond, which is good news. I guess we'll see where it goes. I was really tempted to buy calls last week, and then I slept in and missed the boom. And then I was like, next day I was like, maybe I'll try it. And then it crashed, and I was like, but it didn't. So I think it has a chance to go puny pop again. Probably closing in on OPEX once more for November. But we'll see if anything happens between now and then. I would have thought there would have been a little bit of gamma on Monday, because it did close so much higher than it was previously. But we didn't really get that much or anything for that yesterday or today. But it can do some stuff. And yeah, the options are still really cheap. So, Doc Daddy Zero. Also, what's with the 3i mothership turning green suddenly? It's a comet. It's a comet. So it's a big old giant ball of ice. It's about, 12 miles across or so. It's a very large comet. It's from outside the solar system. So it's not from the Oort cloud or the Kuiper belt where our normal comets come from. It's from beyond the solar system. It's firing towards ish to our sun. And what happens when one of these comets gets close to the sun is that the ice, the methane, the ammonia, the water, the CO2, the volatiles are in that change states. They turn from ice to vapor in a vacuum like that. And as they come off, they reflect, and they reflect different wavelengths of light. So as the tail forms, you will see the color of the object change as well, as that ball of white ice now is filtering and reflecting different colors from the sun. So that's why it kind of turns green. If you look at comets through a telescope, you'll kind of see they have a kind of greenish hue as they whip around the sun. And once this thing passes by, the tail will disappear as it gets further away from the sun, and everything gets cold again, and then you'll never see it again, because it's on I think it's a hyperbolic trajectory. So it'll just kind of curve past the sun and then go off and visit some other solar system another day. So, yeah. Oh, there's the monster. He's yelling at me again. Let me sit down first. All right. Turn that off. Okay. Chupa. You're here. And showing everyone your beehole. There it is. Look at me. Get shot on my good side. Yep. All right. Okay. Nathan Tyler Scott went to New Orleans and got back just before the virus monkeys escaped. The wreck. Mom's still down there, though. Better call Dustin Hoffman. Everyone get on your suits. We got ourselves Ebola monkeys, right? That's just perfect little cap to 2025 is escape lab monkeys running rampant. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. Imran Jogi 2621. If Trump is about to invade Venezuela, should I short the Venezuela currency? Asking for a friend. I mean, can you short it even further than it's going? I mean, Venezuela has undergone so much inflation, the currency itself is basically worthless. Can it drop any more than what it has already? What do you think, Kitty? I don't know. It seems like a ballsy play, especially if it's like a successful invasion and quickly, you know, the currency gets shored up by international investment and IMF and World Bank, etc., and U.S. Treasury. I don't know. It seems kind of ballsy to me. I think it'd be better to invest in the companies that would theoretically take over their oil fields. Right? He's a rubby dude today. Don't rub on the magnets. You rub on the magnets, they fall off, and that makes me angry. So we'll just keep rubbing over here. There you go. Yeah, keep rubbing on that. That's right. That's right. Yes. Scott had a great vacation back home in New Orleans and Mississippi, but I think I missed a bit over the past 3 weeks. Any chance I can get a cliff notes of what I've missed? What happened the last 3 weeks? It all blends together. What's the timeline here? 3 weeks. Mariners, woohoo! Mariners, woohoo! Mariners, oh no. Donald Trump had mini strokes. They started construction on the east wing of the White House by tearing down the east wing of the White House to build some big stupid ballroom monument to Trump. Government shutdown. Everyone's about to start starving in November when SNAP benefits get cut off. And don't you drink my water. The SNAP benefits represent, like for every dollar spent on SNAP, $1.50 goes into the economy. And 41 million people require it. And with the government shutdown, we've got another 3 to 5 million government workers not getting paid. So they're going to be starving. Epstein files still aren't released. There should be one more congresswoman that could sign the release document, what they call the purge document, whatever it is. And but Speaker Johnson won't recall members of Congress from recess, so he doesn't have to swear her in, so that she can't sign that and release the Epstein files. Republicans like to blame the Democrats for the shutdown, even though the Republicans refuse to go into session so that they can overcome the shutdown. So there's that. What else? What else, dude? What else? What do you got for me? What do you got? You whisper in my ear? No, you're gonna look yourself. Okay. Ukraine's got cruise missiles now. Russia's oil production capacity has been disabled by like 30-something% at this point, resulting in shortages across the entire country. They don't have any winter diesel. They have summer diesel, which gets really viscous in the cold climates. What else can I get for you? Luke Oil is selling off all their Western assets. Oh yeah, the warrants got released. I think that's all I got right now. How's that? How's that for a thing? Okay. Oh, Anonymous, bring up the SP 500 heat map for a good laugh. Good laugh. All right. Okay. Boop. 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 Done. Okay. So we got tech, red. So basically, Microsoft, NVIDIA, AVGO Semiconductors, Amazon, Tesla. These 5 companies are responsible for the green we saw on the spy today. Walmart down, Costco. Oh, nope. Red. UPS up a little bit because they announced they're cutting a bunch of people. I don't know what that green is. Industrial electrical equipment hub. All right. You go away. Basic materials. Gold is up. Basic materials. Okay. Steel. All right. Healthcare devices. They're a little green. All right. So, cool. Cool. We're so doomed. We're so freaking doomed. All right. I lost my spot. Did that one. Imran, is Disney really owned by King Charles of Britain? What? I don't think so. I don't think King Charles has enough money to own Disney. He may be part of his investment portfolio, which I think is worth like $16 billion, is Disney, but I don't really know for sure. Let's see here. King Charles investment port. Oops, cat quick knocks up around folio. British market King Charles controls vast property holdings and assets, but his investments are divided into three main categories, different levels of public visibility and personal access. Specifics of portfolio inherited from Queen Elizabeth are not publicly disclosed. Okay, so basically, his properties are disclosed, but his like the Crown Estate is disclosed, but none of the private assets are. So, estimates of private wealth, according to the Guardian, is 1.8 billion pounds. This includes inherited estates, jewels, cars. However, the outlets like Sunday Times estimate a lower figure around 750 million. Well, there you go. I thought it was more than that, but maybe Crown lands mean different things now. That's what he controls. So I don't think he owns Disney. I don't think he has enough money to own Disney. I think Disney's worth hundreds of billions of dollars. So no. How did I lose my spot there? Imran also asks, is Atlas 3i doing fun stuff? It's doing comet stuff. It's a big comet because it hasn't gone around the sun a bunch of times. So, it's bigger than most comets. Most comets you see are probably a couple miles across. This sucker is like 12. And it's from outside the solar system, so that part's exciting. But it's just doing normal comet things for being a big comet. Michael Harrow, Houston, did you ever play an extra inning game that went past 18 innings? No. I'm trying to think the longest extra inning game I was ever involved in. I think we were in a 14 inning game once when I was at Lewis and Clark. I didn't play in that game. So like I charted pitches for 14 innings. So I can't imagine. I don't think I played in that game. So I wasn't really involved in it. I was on the bench because I think I was starting one of the games later that weekend. I can't think in high school being in a game that long. Yeah, because usually, like, I think until you get to like a high level, like, World Series caliber, you get a lot of really long games recently when you get to like playoffs because the team pitching is so good that you can hold them to no runs for like 9-10 innings. And I think the depth in high school teams and college teams isn't as great. And so at some point, you're going to stick somebody in there who just shouldn't be in there. And they're going to give up a run or two and a bunch of hits, walks, whatever. And I just think that the caliber isn't quite there. So I just don't imagine you get as many like really, really long games like that. So no, I can't think of one. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever pitched extra innings of anything. Like, I don't think I ever pitched the 10th or the 11th. I was usually a starter, except for that good chunk of the time at Lewis and Clark where I was recovering from my elbow surgery. So I was basically put in there as like mop up, like when we're getting blown out of the water or something, while I was getting my arm strength back. Trying to think it. Yeah, I don't think I have. I don't think I have played that long a game before. Mapulin, I've been trying to think of ways to stop hurricane from forming, but it's pretty much impossible. If you thought rocket science was hard, try geoengineering. Well, the thing is that in just 4 hours, a hurricane will generate more energy output than what the United States utilizes in like years. So all the folks who are like, "Oh, these hurricanes are being created by Doppler radar stations," there's not enough energy in the world to emit from some Doppler radar station to create a hurricane. Like the power just does not exist. We don't have it. We don't have the ability to harness it. We don't have the ability to focus it. It just doesn't exist. So, trying to stop a hurricane, the only way we're going to stop a hurricane is from getting this powerful is to cool the earth off. And the only way we're going to cool the earth off is to either suck all the CO2 out of the air and methane or block the sun. Those are our two options at this point. So our methods for sucking CO2 out of the air aren't working very well because we're tearing down all the trees still. And carbon capture machines are nowhere near what they need to be. And if we block out the sun, all the rich dummies want to block out the sun with like sulfides, which would just make acid rain, which would be a whole nother problem. So, yeah, I can't imagine us being able to do that. So we really need to I don't know. I mean, probably if we go back to like Mad Max era, or go back to if we have ourselves a Mad Max era where 90% of the population dies off and everyone else is just sort of like wallowing in filth, the Earth may be able to recover and suck a bunch of CO2 out of the air at that point. But yeah, VIX voltage drop. Oh my God! Have you seen Edwin's recent post about how he relates BPPY to the watermelon platters they were serving at the top of the 16th inning last night in the World Series? Laugh my ass off. Edwin's schizophrenic, dude. I see the dumbest shit every day. Like, did you see this? This is going, Beyond is now part of GameStop. Did you know that? No, they're not. Beyond Meats is not part of GameStop. Nokia is not part of GameStop. There may be squeezes and things like that, but GameStop is not making any moves at all that we are seeing. And, remember all the people saying that GME was going to buy TikTok? Oh, it's going to be GME that gets TikTok. It wasn't. So stop. Stop with the craziness. It's one thing to get excited about news that comes out, right? It's another to be insane enough to assume that any news that is made has something to do with Ryan Cohen and GameStop. That's crazy people talk. That's like QAnon bullshit. Until Ryan Cohen fucking does something, we're stuck here twiddling our thumbs. We are not in chin stroking territory right now. We're back to thumb twiddling, waiting, just waiting and waiting. And we can pull up all the dockets. We can pull up all the weird DD and tinfoil and crack and everything else. But we're not the decision makers here. We have no power in this. We are basically driving ourselves insane with all of the crazy bullshit that our little unoccupied brains that should just be twiddling thumbs and, I don't know, playing a video game or reading or something, instead are just trying to make connections out of nowhere and then being like, see? We're not decision makers. There's one decision maker in all of this, and that's Ryan Cohen. It is up to him to finally fucking do something. So, do something. That's what I would say. Move on. Do you know of any current theories on how to stop hurricanes without affecting killing marine life? There's no way to stop a hurricane. You can limit their development by lowering the temperature of oceans. And the way we lower the temperature of oceans is by stopping trapping so much heat in the atmosphere, such as reducing CO2 emissions, pulling CO2 out of the air, blocking the sun. So, what we probably need is one hell of a super volcano explosion and get some massive dust covering the earth for a few years, which will, cool things down, but then we'll probably be pumping out so much CO2 trying to stay warm that in the end it won't work out. But it'll give us a momentary relief, so we got that going for us. Have you been at MMTLP? I haven't heard nothing. Rising Mist 01. Wonder how the stock market will take the rate cut tomorrow. It'd be pretty insane to do a rate cut tomorrow if we don't have any data on that, right? Because like they're not going to be releasing a CPI, etc. Oh shoot, I saw super chats down here. I totally missed. Teddy Ball 4168. Eat it. Eat the spam. Wah. Okay, let's put that on the old spamometer here. Bam. Oops. There we go. So that's a twofer. 2. Boom. And then Chris Taylor says no spam at $2. 2. Boom. Oh man. All right. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Okay, scroll back up, Houston. Okay. We're past that. No, we're not there. We're Nathan Scott's question. Imran, Vix Voltage, Mupulin. Okay. Polestar. I think some of these tinfoilers have run out of medication money by this point. I think that's a pretty good diagnosis of some of these guys. I think some of them are just batshit. Absolutely insane. But hey, nothing I can do about it. Teddy also says, Houston, I have a problem. How do you best get rid of stains from upholstery like vintage modern looking chair? I am not the person to answer that. How would you get rid of stains, monkey? Oh, you think that something's going to happen because I talked to you and you're looking up at the ye old TREATSs? Nothing going to happen. How would you get stains out? I mean, one trick I learned about clothing is you can get like the spray and wash and things like that. But if you actually take like Dawn dish soap and get it into the fabric nice and thick so it's like still juicy and then let it sit for a moment and then wash the clothes, that's done a pretty good job for me on clothing in the washing machine. Upholstery on furniture? Ooh, I don't know. I mean, if you have like a really good carpet cleaning guy, my mom has had the carpet cleaning guy like steam clean her furniture, which has made them look immaculate. So maybe they got some tricks of the trade that they could do. Kitty, no, don't you chew on the USB cables, you dumbass. That's not for you to do, you fat turd. Come here. Yes. You want to be like the cat in Christmas Vacation and just explode by putting some voltage through your body? That's how you do it. Don't chew on cables. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there might be some suggestions in here from folks, but my guess is steam cleaning, Woolite, Dawn dish soap, spray and wash. I don't know. Give those all a whirl. RV6008, time to feed monkey butt some stanky stuff. Is it time to feed the monkey butt some stanky stuff? Monkey butt want that? Yeah? How about we finish off this little guy, huh? Yeah, finish off this little guy. Does this work for you? Oh, we got a couple more in here. We'll put all those right there. And we'll find the tiny ones the cat can attempt to eat. You want kitty? You want that? You want that? Put that right there for you. And there's one more out of that little guy. The monkey monster. Boom. Fat cat, right there. Look at that. Right there. It's food for a fat cat. If you don't eat it, then the dog will. Come here. Don't rub yourself. Eat that right there. Put that in your face hole. Yeah. It's meat, reconstituted meat just for you. Just for you. Yeah. Put it in your mouth. There you go. Yeah, oh, almost. You gotta like actually keep it in your mouth while you chew. I'll work on that for a while. Do you like that? Was that good? Okay. Why do I keep losing my spell? There it is. Okay. Brendan Wells, sub BBY again. Imran, why did FBI claim Charlie Kirk was shot with a high caliber rifle if they know that they were going to kill him with the mic gun? Surely they would know Americans would do ballistic work. I don't know, man. I heard claims that there was like a microphone that was what shot him. Other people said the bullet came from this side and went that way, but that would mean it would go into the crowd and hit somebody else. whatever's happening, I don't think the story of a shooter with an unbreakdownable gun somehow broke the gun down, put it into his backpack, ran to the forest, reassembled the gun, and set it there, and then it was a different caliber rifle than the bullet that actually hit his neck. All that crap seems completely made up to me and would not pass any test in court. So, I don't know. Whatever the official story is, we're not getting the proper one, and that's all on Kash Patel. He sucks at his job. So, Teddy also asks, economy is great, and Amazon plans to use advanced technology to replace 75% of workforce for AI. Boycott Amazon now? Might as well. I mean, I think if you're going to replace workers and be like, hey, I'm replacing workers with AI, then you should have to pay tax on the job that AI did. Hey, you did a good job. And as if it was a worker or something. Like, I don't know. It seems like there are some things we need to make inefficient in society. This is like a totally functionalist sociological perspective. If you were taking a sociology course, you know what functionalism is about. But humans need something to do. They need something to do. And if they don't have something to do, bad things happen. So if we fire everybody from their jobs, and then we have robots do the jobs, and all those people end up starving to death, because that's what's going to happen. They're going to be homeless and starving because all the robots are doing the jobs, and the rich people are not going to be distributing the wealth to the average person at this point. They're going to keep it all for themselves. They're going to create very angry, unemployed, hungry hordes who are then going to revolution and kill everyone. So, seems to me like we've got some work to do. We have to have some sort of solution for the robots replacing the people, to either give them something to do or allow them to like live the retired life they always wanted or something. It's not going to end well. It's not going to end well at all. Youth unemployment and food scarcity leads to overthrow of governments and death of rich people. So if the rich people cared about maintaining the good life, they would figure out a way to actually trickle down. But they won't. They're too greedy and short-sighted to do that, so that's not going to happen. We got some super chats coming in. We got Tending Oneness. It's crazy that there is tech companies out there that can find absolutely anything lost or deleted from the internet. Also saying how much Mariners love their own. I donated to his campaign. Mainers. Sorry, Mainers love their own. Okay. It's like Mariners? You donated to the Mariners campaign? What? Mainers. Yeah, tech companies can find pretty much anything out there. And Basapa Man, Scorpion, Season 1, Episode 1, they killed off a cyclone with a ton of dry ice. Also, no spam. I don't think a ton of dry ice could do it. I think you would need, like, probably a state-sized amount of dry ice. What are you doing? Quit licking your hoo-ha, dude. Quit licking your hoo-ha. You're on television, basically. No one wants to see that, right? You don't need to go to town yourself like that. Just, chill. Do it when you don't have a camera on you. It work? I think they're gonna need more dry ice than like an entire state's surface area to do that. Then you got to transport it, which would release so much CO2 in the atmosphere. And then the dry ice itself would release in the atmosphere. And it would just be a big net zero, I think, in the end. Never watched Scorpion. Although, for some reason, my television of a Samsung television, and when I turn it on, it has like some sort of Samsung TV network. And for a long time, the TV network was just episodes of Scorpion playing over and over and over again before I hit like Netflix or Hulu or whatever and watch something I cared about. So I never actually sat down and bothered watching Scorpion. Because my only knowledge that it existed was the fact that there's an entire Scorpion network that Samsung had. Julius, bet those enraged monkeys can pass that test. DJT flunked. Yeah. Oh, not super chat coming in. Also from attending one is in regards to Graham Plattner and the Oppo research that Dems did, and Mainers love him more. Last TH has 700 plus and a town of 2200. Last TH? Last. I mean, is TH a poll? I don't know. I think Graham Plattner is probably going to win this one. I am not entirely convinced with his explanation for his tattoos. Although I do know that like enlisted Marines can be dumb as shit and not be aware of like Totenkopf's skull tattoos being a Nazi thing. Him replacing it with a Norse tattoo, which are also used by white supremacists and lit large, shows me that he's either completely unaware or think he's pulling a fast one, which I really hope he's not another Fetterman, that he's going to say all the right things, get elected, and then just be like Fetterman and, vote with Republicans consistently. That'd be a real bummer, because then you just have another Susan Collins, basically. So I hope he really is of the people and for the people like he's claiming he is. I really hope so. But I'm not in Maine, so I can't vote for regardless for whoever's running. Teddy B 4168. What is your favorite fish to eat? Pan-seared versus grilled versus broiled. What about raw? Favorite fish to eat? Tuna raw. I'm not a big fan of tuna cooked. I think tuna steaks get a little too dry and flaky, but tuna fish raw and sushi. I'm a Northwest kid, so most of the fish I eat is salmon. I like it seared. I like it seasoned. I like it fukiyaki style. I like it with a dill cream sauce. I like it with butter and cumin. I like it just salted. I like it with black pepper. I eat a lot of it. Let's see here. Halibut's really good. I like flaky whitefish. Cod and halibut are delicious. Like escolar, like a Mexican sea bass. Probably one of the best fish I ever had was a dish that someone made with escolar. It was really good. What else, monkey? I'm not a big fan of freshwater fish. Catfish, trout. I think there's something about the lack of like natural sodium in them that saltwater fish have. I've just never been a super big fan of them. And they have like a worse, stinkier fish smell, I think, faster than saltwater fish do if they start to just turn just a little bit. Can we include shellfish in here? Because scallop steaks are my favorite food. The little scallops, big scallops. When I was a kid in Taiwan, we ate a scallop that was the size of a birthday cake. And it was the most delicious meat I've ever had in my entire life. And then later on, I learned that scallop was like 1,000 years old, and I felt terrible. But man, that thing was good. I recommend that. Scallops are just delicious. Any fancy fish, monkey? Any other big fish where I went, whoa? Remember I had mako shark once when I was a kid. I try not to eat shark, though, now that I know about their position as top predators and how they keep the oceans healthy and whatnot. But I had mako shark, and that was really delicious. Swordfish was pretty good. Marlin, I've not had marlin prepared in a way that I was like, wowee. Any other weird fish that come to mind? I'm trying to think. I'm not a big fan of sardines and like having to eat the whole bones and stuff. I don't enjoy that. Flounder is too bony. Never had fugu. Never went out and spent the money on fugu. Although apparently there are three sushi chefs who are licensed to serve fugu in Seattle. Never had it. What else could I add in there, monkey? Get anything? Anything at all? No? That's all I can think of. But like 90% of the fish I eat is salmon because it's Northwest and it just kind of appears out of nowhere at all times. So, fish bukkake style. Fukiyake, not bukkake, although that probably would season it in a different way. All right. And Teddy, what is the update in Jamaica and Melissa? Not good. My guess is that a lot of destruction, and it's going to be maybe a day or so before the last edge of that hurricane passes north from the island. They can start to get real eyes on the ground to see what's happening. Hopefully, the east side of the island has been spared enough so that they can do lots of staging and stuff there. It's enough infrastructure and airports and stuff so they can get people in. But the west side of the island is probably destroyed. The trees are probably all gone. The land's probably completely saturated. It's not going to look good for them at all. Just Mammy, that's a Cat 6 when it becomes in effect. It's going to be insane if they do need to re-up the category system. Now, B-Ball, Trump has dementia, but Biden was sharper than ever. I totally agreed with Biden stepping down out of the race. I did. I don't think he had the energy. I don't think he had the pizzazz. But Biden to this day knows more than Trump ever has in his entire life. Trump was born a moron, was born incurious, has almost no ability to learn outside of different ways he can scam people, and has never been a good person who did good things with his life. So what you have is you got somebody who's cognitively failing, whose entire ethos has been to do wrong their whole life. And so he's basically holding on to the paranoia of, I would harm people, therefore they're going to come after me. And he won't do simple things like take anesthesia for surgery. So he won't let, Pence or Vance ever have presidential powers even for a few hours. So he's just a bad person, and he's going to bring us all down with him, and life will get significantly worse from here. Teddy also says, do you think people are more stressed now and having issues they aren't letting on, aka Republicans, if you just say I'm fine, and can't that work in a way? Avoidance? Or are things all fine for all? People like to say they're fine. They're not. Like, the only people doing okay are really, really rich. Everyone else, they are really wondering, discretionary income is vanishing. Visits to restaurants are down significantly. Tourism's down. Job security's down. Food insecurity is rising. Inflation of food costs. Life is getting much more expensive, and even though productivity goes up for people, they're not receiving their fair compensation from that. They may lie and pretend like everything's fine because they don't want to admit their own failings in this, but no, everything is not fine. It's not fine at all. And Teddy also says, do you think China will release AI tools like DeepSeek 2.0 that is cheaper with less GPUs and then crash US market or something? Like it would crash the market or could pump somehow? 100%. Right now, we have an entire economy built upon requiring AI to be incredibly energy consumptive and inefficient. And if you can produce something that would wipe that out using simpler GPUs and fewer of them and less energy, then you have trillions of dollars invested in the AI bubble in the United States that would just go poof, which would lead to these huge vacancies of these big server farms. They're building these server farms that are the size of major cities. The one that's being built in Louisiana that's like 12 miles by 4 miles. I mean, literally, it's like the size of Manhattan. Why would you need that? You don't need it anymore. You don't need the processing power. So what's the point? You're going to abandon that, which means you're going to have these big empty buildings taking up what should be forest or farmland, and they'll sit there forever being empty. Yeah, if I were China, I would release that crap. I would release DeepSeek in the United States unimpeded. Because the problem with DeepSeek at the moment is that there's a whole bunch of blocks on it to keep it from, saying things about Xi Jinping or the Chinese government or Taiwan. Sure, you can block it in China from doing those things, but if you really, really, really want to destroy the U.S. market in a way, you release it full bore outside of China so they can do whatever people want it to do, and that would just, it would kill NVIDIA, it would kill AMD, it would kill Meta, it would kill XAI, it would kill ChatGPT, it would just murder them all. So, yeah, if I were China, I'd do that. And to Teddy, one more. Like, what first DeepSeek did minor crash when it was released? Yeah, exactly. Swim heists. 90%. Oops, sorry, I just lost my spot. 90% of us aren't directly involved in all the shit going down, which makes things frighteningly similar to Germany 1933. If only more people could connect the dots. Yeah. I mean, there was an article yesterday, Seattle Times, about a woman being detained by ICE. It's on video. And she's got a 4-year-old with her. And the 4-year-old's being taken to... She was on her way to daycare. To get daycare. And the 4-year-old's dad died just a couple weeks ago. So the mom is all he's got, right? And he's begging. As a 4-year-old, he's begging, don't take my mom away. She's all I have. My dad's dead. Don't take my mom away. It's a 4-year-old kid having these thoughts and realizations. And under the article, all the comments from these people, they're like, that's what you get. I voted for this. Fuck the immigrants. You better have done it legally. She had done it illegally. She was going to her court dates for her asylum hearings. She was here legally. She had her paperwork. And they still just ripped her away from her child. So now the kid's got no one. No guardians, no nothing. Who knows what's going to happen to him. Right? And... you point out these people are just fucking Nazis. So like, oh, everything you don't like is a Nazi? Yeah, bitch, everything I don't like is a Nazi. I only don't like Nazis. So when you do Nazi shit, I'm going to call you a Nazi. And if you're supporting the mass secret police from tearing families apart, you're doing Nazi shit. So yeah, you're a Nazi. And you're patting yourself on the back. Oh yeah! I'm sure that if there was Facebook comments or whatever in 1938, there'd be plenty of people being like, "Well, don't break the law, then the Gestapo will haul your ass away." Right? I had one guy accuse me of not having the right to declare if something was moral or immoral. There's only the law and breaking the law. It's like, dude, slavery was legal at one time. Is slavery moral or immoral? Well, back when it was legal, it was definitely moral. Okay, way to tell me that you don't have a conscience, you piece of shit. Yeah. There needs to be a lot more anger and activism out of our citizenry than what we're seeing. And starving them may push it over the limit. I don't think ensuring 15 to 20% of people in this country don't have food is a real great way to maintain power, because that's 40 to 50 million people who will get really violent and really angry if they can't eat. That's a lot of people. And you know what the rest are going to do? They're going to watch that 40, 50 million people just tear everything apart and go, oh, wow, look at that. Right? They're not going to be like, oh, I'm pro-starving people. That's not what the majority of Americans are going to do. They're gonna realize that this is, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's just gonna be bad. Robin, what did think of Game 3 of the World Series? I didn't get to watch the first half. I was at work. I was like, oh man, it's tied. I'll get home and I'll watch the last inning or so. And I got home and got to watch a completely new baseball game. So, yeah, the pitching was phenomenal. I cannot believe that no one scored. There were so many scoring opportunities throughout that, and then no one scored until finally Freeman just punched. He's like, I want to go home, and just punched it over the center field wall, and that was it. But it's got to feel really good. I mean, the Mariners, that 15-inning Mariners game a couple weeks ago that John Castro sent me to was awesome. Other than the guy dying, that was still processing that. But the experience of being amongst, especially like home crowd, being amongst all those fans, just going absolutely bonkers, was magical. And I can imagine that the LA fans who actually stayed and watched that, they are gonna carry that with them for the rest of their lives, right? It's gonna just be whoopity boo, right? Right, you little stinker. Okay. Treetop, Houston. Climate change isn't real. However, 2-mile-an-hour winds were confirmed at the same height of the mountains, Jamaica, at landfall. Yeah. Ain't no climate change. So what if the oceans are 10 degrees warmer than they ever should have been, and that things should be getting cold in the Arctic and for some reason aren't? Welcome to our future. It's all bad. It's all going to be crypto and melting ice and the Nazis and shit. The future sucks. Pasapamon's here. Happy birthday. Showed up late. So lost in the title. Well, a truck crashed with a bunch of monkeys in it. At first report, the monkeys had herpes and COVID. Now they're saying they don't have any diseases. They had not been tested on yet, but now they're just like running around a freeway in Mississippi. I need to put the title out there just to get people's eyes on it and be exciting. Imran says that spam is going to give you the shits for weeks. We will never know unless we raise 7,000 whatever dollars. Teddy says, happy birthday, eat the spam. Anne Rand Razzie Award showing on some stickers. Teddy says, Chris is so mean for super chatting the anti-spam. Juice Mammy, the Argentina peso gave up its entire election gain already. Who's surprised? I still to this day don't think Javier won that election. He was polling miserably. His party was polling miserably. The people fucking hate his guts. He can't get into a crowd of larger than 20 people without them trying to kill him. Somehow his party won. It smells like Elon got involved to me. Hot Pocket Rebel, how much longer are you planning on holding GME if nothing happens for another 2 years? Are you still holding or waiting, or are you out? I'm getting sick of RC's shit and I'm ready to jump ship. I think it really depends on how quickly the US starts diving into full-blown authoritarianism across the entire country. If it starts to get that way, I will sell every penny of every stock I have, use that cash, get the fuck out of here. It'll be basically survival at that point. And I will, hopefully have the money that can support myself for a year or two, wherever I am, and then figure it out from there. Yeah, what are we doing? What are we doing, little cat? Yeah, he really needs to pull a trigger on something. That's his job. His job is to make things interesting for us. That's his entire role. That's why he makes lots of cryptic little tweets for us to decipher. He's admitted himself, and he doesn't do shit. So, Chris Taylor, sorry, Teddy, I was looking up for Houston Sphincter. I've had salmonella before. Ain't nothing gonna faze me. Teddy, will November 1st be 155% tariff liberation day, market crash repeat, or will Trump taco? Thoughts on China's situation? Well, the November 1st is a Saturday, so we won't know until that Monday, really. But more tariffs just means even less growth for U.S. companies. No exports, no imports, no innovation. downsizing, logistics companies collapsing. It's just garbage. Smaller earnings for companies because people will pay what they're willing to pay for stuff. And if you slap on too much tariffs on things, they just won't buy those things. They'll just go without, which means, those retailers are going to fail miserably as well. So, Moth, bring up, that's the SP500 heat map. I got that. Just Miami, Enron, and Enron. Talking about NVIDIA, I presume. And Zachary Delia 5899. Once I saw what these corrupt banks can do to silver, I've lost all faith in Moas. Understandable. Teddy, do you know what a mountain chicken is? I know because I watched John Oliver's show the other day. It's a frog. And Teddy also says Prince Andrew invited Epstein, Maxwell, and Harvey Weinstein to parties. So yeah, any rant or not showing files or how redacted they will be when released. I think it depends on who releases them and how redacted they are. If the redactions are really terrible, like they were the other day, there was a redacted deposition from an expert in the field for the implosion of that rich people submarine that went down to the Titanic, right? And in it, they redact the name, they redact all sorts of stuff. And then the guy who's being interviewed is like, when I made my movie Titanic. So sometimes they're just really shit at redacting things. So we know it was James Cameron they're talking about. David JWT says Jimmy rated pop. Throwing a bunch of emojis in there. We can really help. Oh my goodness, I missed some Shika Shukla. Shika Shukla, super chats. Your thoughts on Mamdani and Plattner again? I think Mamdani's going to win. I think he's going to win the election. I've been wrong about thinking things like that in the past. And Plattner, I think Plattner is at least going to get the Democratic nod, right? Because that's what we're facing this time around is Democratic nod. I can't remember. But I think Plattner has right now has the numbers, so I think he's probably going to win as well. Stephanie L. Super Chats, won't the nulls expire before appeals court decision? Nulls don't expire that way. As long as there's a going concern, the nulls will remain. So, I don't think they'll expire in quite that case. Because the WAMU vanished in 2008, and I don't think it was until 2014, 6 years later, that they were picked up and the nulls were realized and everyone got a win on their shares. So that's a long time. I think we still got time. I think we still got time on this. Okay. Did I get them all? I got super chats. I did. I think I got them all. Got that one. Got that one. All right. Anyway, I gotta go. We'll be doing a show tomorrow. No show Thursday. I'm getting my pinky checked out by a doctor on Thursday, but I'll see you tomorrow. So cool. All right. Peace out. Word and classic.